Welcome to the Leadership Spark podcast, where we equip you to be the great leader your people deserve. This is Corey, and today I want to kick off a pretty extended focus on something that I think is very important and becoming more and more important, and that is, how do we lead in the age of AI? How do we lead in the age of AI? Now, you are experiencing disruption from AI at some level. I know that you are. We have this emerging technology that has entered our world over the last several months and several years that is completely blowing up the way that work is done in a lot of ways. And whether you are experiencing it at a minimal level or it's completely disrupting your organization and you're going through this significant organizational change, we are all asking the question, how do we lead in the age of AI? And we feel a lot of emotions whenever it comes to that. I think about the way I use AI today is different than I used AI a month ago, much less 3 years ago. And it'll change probably in the next month. And so all of us are dealing with this technology that has entered into our world, and we're trying to figure it out. And we don't really have all the answers yet on what the impact may be and what we need to do. And so we need to ask the question, how do we lead in the age of AI? And so I wanted to take several days and unpack this question. How do we lead in the age of AI? And talk about that together and talk about very practical ways you can think about AI in your world as a leader, regardless of whether you feel optimistic and you are an early adopter and you are using AI every chance you get, or if you are very, very scared and anxious and you're worried about the impact AI is going to have on you, your livelihood, your job, your team's jobs, your organization, whatever that may be. And the emotions are all over the place. And so I wanted to spend time tackling that so that we can get a shared meaning, a shared understanding, a shared perspective on how to be great leaders that our people deserve in the age of AI. And that's why, while Spark exists, that's why this podcast exists. And so I wanted to start with this, is that people are people at the end of the day. Whether it's AI or whether it's the next disruptive technology, AI wasn't the first disruptive technology to enter the work world. And it won't be the last one. There will be something else in the future that is disruptive, that changes the way that we do work. And a lot of times it's for the good. So it's something that needs to be embraced. But at the end of the day, here's what I've learned about all this disruptive stuff that goes on in our lives as leaders, is that people are still people. People are still people. The same skills that allow you to be a great leader today for your people. And we're going to unpack what those are and how they're emerging and how we need to adapt, because AI may be changing what you do as a leader. What you show up and do and how you do your work may change as a result of AI. But what fundamentally people need from their leader isn't changing. And so if you can become great at these fundamental leadership skills, regardless of the disruption that takes place inside your organization, you will be positioned to be successful at leading yourself and leading your team, and ultimately even leading your organization through transformation when there's something that is disruptive introduced. And so I want to encourage you that a lot of what's going to make you a great leader leading in the age of AI are things that we talk about on this podcast. They're things that you are already practicing and that you are already investing time into elevating and growing as a leader. And so people are still people. Yes, there's AI. Yes, our jobs are changing. Yes, I use AI differently than I did a month ago, but people are still people. My team needs from me to show up today and lead them in a way and lead them with skills that they will need a week from now, 2 weeks from now, 2 years from now, as they did 2 years ago in the past. And so I want to tee it off by just saying, look, people are people. Your job may be changing as a leader. The things you do may be changing, but people still need you to be the great leader they deserve, and a lot of the skills you're already developing. And so come back on this journey with me as we unpack how to lead in the age of AI. We're going to go deep. We're going to get very practical. We're going to cover a lot of space. And so come back and join over the next several days as we try to figure this out together.